Here is Nick, I solve a problem, you view. When I first opened the case of my new FDR X3000, which by the way uses the same dive case as the HDR AS300 and the HDR AS50, I noticed something interesting at the inside of the door. The shape of this little rubber bumper, which keeps the cameras from wiggling around inside of the case. So I took the camera out and then, searched for my HDR AZ1 and tried to fit it into the front of the door. And as you can see, it's just to focus a little bit. As you can see, it fits the shape pretty good. So then I thought to myself, since there is still the old problem with there not being any dive case for the HDR AZ1, thought maybe you can fit it into the case. And so I tried it. And I closed the case up. And as you can see, the camera is too small and it can wiggle around inside of the case. But I was not done there. I continued with my research and tried to use the 1/4 inch adapter rail which came with the camera. I screwed it onto the camera and tried the whole thing again. So let's insert the camera into the case, close the case up, and as you can see, the case closes up, but the camera can still wiggle around a little bit. You can't do anything with the camera is too far away from the lens, you can see that. And it is no proper solution for the problem either. Maybe you could put some paper towels in the back, but that's no useful solution in my opinion. So I took my digital vernier calipers and made some measurements. I measured the depth of the case, which is, I think, like 71 millimeters. 70 millimeters. And I measured how high the thing I want to build can be. And I measured 40 millimeters. It's a little bit hard to recreate it in this video. It took me some time to do proper measurements. And then I went to a local company nearby and asked them to laser cut me this shape out of acrylic glass. They only had 8 millimeter thick acrylic glass to laser cut from, so the piece I originally wanted or originally measured would have been 17 millimeters wide. Now these are two pieces which are 8 millimeters wide, but together they are 16 millimeters wide, so it works as well. I also made a template for 3D print. Sadly, I don't have a 3D printer, so I couldn't print it myself, but I asked a friend to print it. Maybe it arrives next week. And I'm also going to try to make it out of like polymer clay, which you then can bake in the oven and make it solid. But I got these acrylic laser cut pieces and they didn't fit in the first place. I had to kind of sand them down back here because I made this piece here 11 millimeters wide and that was a little bit too much. I couldn't close up the case and the camera was pressing against the glass lens of the case. But by making it 9 millimeters wide, it then worked. Also, now the whole piece is not 71 millimeters wide, like in my original measurements, but 69. It is 11 millimeters high, this piece. It is 40 millimeters high, the whole thing. And this cutout is 29 millimeters tall and 50, let's see, 59? No, 60 millimeters. Needs to be 60 millimeters, I think. Yeah, wide. So let's try that out. Fit it into the case. As you can see, it has still some place to wiggle around, but as soon as I insert the camera, there's no problem anymore with that. So unscrew the 1/4 inch rail, which doesn't fit, and put the camera into the case with these little adapter pieces put into place. Close the case up, which now works, and press the record button. Yeah, come on. And as you can see, the camera starts to record. There you can see the record light, and in the back you can also see the other record light. There it is. So yeah, that is, in my opinion, the best solution to use the camera with a flat lens case, which is now waterproof down to 60 meters instead of some self-built solutions which modified the original case, which looks like this and is only waterproof down to, let's see if you can see it, 5 meters. It says here on the ledge, 5 meters or 16 feet. And yeah, I think this is a much better solution for the problem. And I'm quite sure that I can help some people with the solution. If you have any feedback to this video, please leave it in the comments. And if I forgot to mention something, or you want to 3D print the piece by yourself, or order a 3D print, the link is down in the description. Also the link to the dive case, so you can purchase it and then go diving with your HDR AZ1. What I also want to mention is that this solution is not necessarily more expensive than buying a dive case for the previous cameras, which didn't come with a dive case right out of the box. So all in all, it is sad that Sony never even bothered to make a dive case for the HDR AZ1, but now with the solution, there is finally something to use.